Hey y'all, how you doing? Today I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about the Dragon Ball Z Final Stand Remaster. In this video, I'll be going over info that's been released before the remaster, and info surrounding the remaster that has just been able to be shared with me, so I can share with you. So, without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. So starting off, I wanted to go over some frequently asked questions surrounding the remaster that are in a lot of Discord servers and under Snake's tweets every single time I open them. So first off, game passes will transfer over. There are some circumstances like the God of Destruction moveset game pass that will no longer exist in the remaster. However, if you own that game pass in the original Final Stand, you will be compensated with the Goku Black moveset game pass, which honestly I think is a major improvement. There are a couple game passes like the Hyperbolic Time Chamber which have been upgraded or changed. And then moving on to how levels will transfer over, since I know a lot of people are wondering about that. Snake has publicly said that the transfer period for your slots on the original Final Stand to the remaster, that transfer period has already ended like in August. So if you're planning on leveling up or like playing on your original slot before the remaster comes out, it's not going to benefit you in any way other than you just playing on the original. If you had a Rebirth or Prestige slot, what's going to happen is that all the XP that you attain during your Rebirth or Prestige, you're just going to go to like a Prestige 0 character. So you're probably wondering when you're going to be able to unlock these slots. Essentially, as the level cap increases in the remaster, you'll slowly be able to gain access to these slots. Let's say you had like a level 250 Frieza race or something. Essentially, once the level cap reaches like, let's say it increases from level 200 to 300, you'll finally be able to play as that Frieza slot. Or that is the idea. I haven't gotten full confirmation on this, as obviously slots have not been transferred over yet. So let's transition to information about the remaster, which is probably what the majority of you are here for. So we know right off the bat that there's going to be moving and walking NPCs in the game. This is a really cool feature that I'm happy that he decided to add. It sounds like it was something that he was going to add originally in Final Stand, but he just never was able to, I guess because of limitations in Roblox at the time, or just not being feasible. I don't really remember. But that's actually something that is in the remaster, which I'm really happy to hear. Furthermore, there's a lot more exploration in the game. I'm probably showing up a clip right now of this guy like walking into a house. I mean, that's pretty cool to see, just like all of this open world stuff. And there's just being like a lot of character and life in the game. If you watch my retrospective, you'll know that that's something I really enjoyed about the original Final Stand, so I'm really happy to see this come back. Furthermore, capsules are really important in the remaster. I mean, he's shown a lot of sneak peeks about it, so you can kind of infer that it's pretty important. And capsules are really important, as I will go into soon. Basically, right before I started working on this video, like I mean only an hour or two before, I got word that Snake actually dropped the ban on beta testers dropping like info about the remaster. So I actually get to share a lot of things that I learned from a beta tester. I'm not going to include his name here. I'm not going to include screenshots of what he said. If I don't include his name, it's not like the screenshots have any credibility whatsoever anyway, so there's no point in including them. If he says anything wrong and I disclose anything wrong here, then I'll leak his name and we can all go after him together. I hope he's watching this right now, so he knows that. But without further ado, let's get into the information that he shared with me. Obviously, he didn't share everything with me because first off, I think he was scared of Snake World still. Even though there's a drop on the ban of what you can say, I think Snake wanted to keep a lot of stuff private still, or at least like a surprise for when the remaster actually drops. Furthermore, the person I was speaking with wanted to keep some stuff to himself, just simply because he wants the remaster to be more interesting. He shares the same sentiment with Snake World, I guess I should say. One of the key takeaways I got from what he told me was that there was a lot of stuff going on in the open world that was just not in the original whatsoever. I heard that there was raid bosses, two of which I can disclose are Turles and Lord Slug. When they spawn in every single lobby in the game, and you have to defeat these bosses, otherwise you'll get punished. I guess you die. And I'm also hearing that when you die in the remaster, it's a lot more punishing than in the original. I have no clue what that means. Please don't ask me. I am really confused also. Furthermore, I'm hearing that there's dungeons that you can like queue into, similar to the Broly raids. To queue into these dungeons, instead of sitting down like in the term in a power queue, or standing in like this giant rectangular box like the Broly queue, you apparently can create a party, which is a team of around 9 to 10 people. When I was talking to the guy that told me this information, he actually could not remember off the top of his head whether it was 9 or 10. So I assume it'd be 10. It makes more sense for it to be 10, but don't quote me on that. What a party is essentially is you're able to invite people to it, and on the right side of your screen there will be like a list of all of your party members, and you're able to voice chat with them no matter where you are in the world. So you're able to queue into these dungeons and you fight through them, and I guess it's just like waves and waves of enemies. I'm hearing that one of the dungeons you can fight right now is the Red Ribbon Army, which is actually pretty interesting. I can also probably confirm that it is the Red Ribbon Army because Snake World was actually talking about them at one point on his Twitter. So, you know, that's cool. And then I'm just going to read off a couple things that are being included in the remaster before I get on to something really big. So, Z assists are coming back. That's like when Krillin would throw you a Senzu Bean or Goku would shoot a Kamehameha. So, like, those random, like, helpers that would just come in, that's coming back. And I guess they're changed a little bit, but the person I was talking to didn't really go into much conversation about it. I also didn't ask because the assists were kind of boring, to be honest. Sorry, not sorry. Like I said earlier, the hyperbolic time chamber is being updated. If you own the Game Pass and one of your party members tries to join the hyperbolic time chamber, like right after you do, regardless if they own the Game Pass or not, you will actually be able to spar with them in there, which is a lot more interesting than just spamming the same mouse click button trying to fight Goku for like an hour. So I really do welcome that. Furthermore, form mastery is a thing in the game, which is something really cool. I don't know if this like replaces Mastered Super Saiyan. I really hope it does. But from what I could gather, form mastery just means that the longer that you use a transformation, your ki drain will decrease. Maybe the form gets a little bit stronger. I don't know yet, but it is really cool that they're including that in the game. It makes a lot of transformations that maybe aren't useful like later in the game. Like how in OG Final Saiyan, you wouldn't use like Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 ever again after you unlock a better form, just because their stats are better. But I hope that there's a lot of use of like using Super Saiyan in battle, even when you're in like the stage where you have God forms, just simply because you can rely on like the better ki usage. So that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if it works that way. Regardless, there's a level cap right now. Speaking of the level cap is 155, as you can see on the Remaster's like info page or about page. I'm not sure what it's called. You're not going to be able to get past that point, and once you hit like level 150, I guess it's going to be really hard to go further than that. Moving on to probably the biggest thing I'm going to say today, but capsules are apparently a really big deal in the remaster. There's 3 kinds of capsules: active capsules, which are ones that you have to activate manually; passive capsules, which are active upon you equipping them, so they're active at all times; and summon capsules, which can like summon objects or other things. I guess we saw this with like when you can summon the gravity chamber or like a bike, I think it was. The guy I was talking to didn't really go into detail about these, but he did say that these were really important and that you definitely want to get them. He didn't tell me how to get them, so I guess that's just something you'll have to figure out on release. And then for races, bioandroids are being added. There's not a lot of information on bioandroids at the moment. From what I've gathered, the transformations for them have actually been revealed. There's going to be their imperfect state, which is their base form, their semi-perfect state, their perfect state, and then there's going to be like a Cell Max transformation. I mean, you probably could have made that assumption yourself, but I guess it's kind of cool that they're going to do like Cell Max. I wonder if they're going to do like Super Perfect Cell as a transformation, but I guess we'll just have to see. I don't really know what they're going to do for it. There's also going to be an alien race, which will actually be on release. They're basically going to just be like a blank race. They're not going to have any unique abilities, and apparently they're just going to be a clone of humans. They're going to be like essentially just a generic alien race, so like Cybermen, Yardrat, just like you think of Alien in Dragon Ball, just some random looking guy. That's what the race is. You get a couple customization options. I think it's a cool addition, but I don't think I'll be choosing them just because I don't think much interesting is going to happen with them. So, oh well. Going on to Kaioken. I know a lot of people were really wondering why Kaioken was only for humans in the original Final Saiyan. And I guess this has kind of been addressed here, because apparently more than one race will have Kaioken in the remaster. I got confirmation that it isn't every single race, but more than just humans will have it, which is cool. I don't know if it'll be the alien race that has it. I don't know if it'll be Namekians. If I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably Namekians and alien race. I don't think the Majins are gonna get it. I don't think the Frieza race are gonna get it. I really don't think the Saiyans are gonna get it. They have enough. Unless they give them like Super Kaioken, which it could be a possibility, but I did not hear that from the guy I was talking to. When it comes to transformations that have been recently introduced into Dragon Ball, such as Orange Piccolo, that was 3 years ago. God. Alright. But yeah, stuff like Orange Piccolo, which was introduced fairly recently into Dragon Ball, the assumption can be made that it's going to be in the remaster, but I've been told, unlike the original Final Stand, where you could see transformations ahead of when they actually released, like you could see that Ultra Instinct was at a certain level, but you weren't actually able to reach that level and like unlock it at first, that is just not a thing in the remaster. You can't see ahead with the transformations and what transformations they decide to do, which, oh well. But I think it's a pretty safe assumption that Orange Piccolo is going to be in the game. I really hope so, because I want to choose Namekian this time around. And then the last thing I want to go over is the difficulty of the game. People that I have talked to that have been in the beta have been glazing this game's difficulty just an absolutely absurd amount. They have said that is Souls level difficult. I genuinely don't know how you get to that point in a Roblox game, especially a Dragon Ball one, but this is just what people are saying. I've also heard, though, after like this like the information ban got lifted, that Snake like drew back on the difficulty of it. So I wonder if they were just lying to begin with and they were glazing the game's difficulty. I have no clue. I obviously did not pay 10,000 Robux to get into the remaster beta because I'm broke. But overall, I've just heard that there's a lot more bosses, the dungeons are pretty difficult, and that there's actually like a decent level of skill you need to have to play the game and like defeat NPCs, because they're not just like brainless AI anymore. They actually can like do combos or do decent attacks against you, so that's not just you spamming one button and be able to defeat them at all times. But yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to. There's also some speculation about some stuff being added to the game, like I didn't get a direct confirmation about this, but it can be inferred from my conversation with the guy I was talking to that Uzaru, False Super Saiyan, Giant Namekian might be included in the game. He did not outright say it, so he might have just been messing with me. That's why I didn't include it earlier in the video, so that might be a thing. Be pretty cool if it was, but I have no clue how the giant form is going to work out, so I guess we'll have to see. If you watched this entire video for a release date, I would not blame you whatsoever, because Snake is really bad at communicating information about the remaster. Instead of posting it in his Discord server, where you know he puts all of the news for the remaster, he decided to just randomly announce the release date on his Twitter. And now, drumroll please, it's this weekend. He didn't say what day, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me, yeah, I'm important, but he didn't say whether it was going to be like later at night on Friday, if it was going to be on Saturday or Sunday, just sometime this weekend. One of the beta testers said something about like Friday at 10 p.m. CST. I have no clue what that means. It could be the release, but it could also not be, so I'm not putting any money on it. It is Snake World, and he is very inconsistent on everything, and he likes to troll people. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the extent of what I know about the Final Stand remaster. I only know so much because I was not a beta tester, and the beta testers were only allowed to tell me so much. So obviously there's some stuff missing here. There might be a little bit of incorrect information. Once again, if the person I was talking to was just blatantly lying to me, then this entire video is just ruined. I really hope he didn't lie to me. I want to do more Final Stand content in the future. I had a lot of fun making my like retrospective video and making this video. So I definitely want to do more like Dragon Ball related content in the future. I also wanted to announce that I'm going to be making a new Discord server for my YouTube channel. Hopefully it'll be a place where I can like communicate more information about Final Stand. I can talk about my own YouTube channel. I can interact with my audience a lot more. It holds me more accountable to like actually upload instead of waiting a month to make another video because I'm like slightly busy. And then also interacting with my community would be a really nice thing, you know. Make sure that you know that I'm not dead. I'm not just off the face of the planet. But the link to that will be in the description. Overall, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. It means a lot to me. It gives me more motivation to actually upload in the future. And, you know, liking is also a nice thing. So wouldn't mind if you did that. But yeah, that wraps it up. So have a good one, y'all.